What's up, everyone? David here, Core Confidence. What's happening? And today we're talking about how to attract quality women. I feel like there's no quality women around, how to fix that, and when there seem to be none available, right? So that is the topic today that we will be discussing. And really excited to talk to about this stuff with you guys, because I hear this a lot from guys. Ton of this stuff where it's like, there's no quality women around, David. What do I do about this? How do I fix this? All this stuff, right? And really successful dudes that are rocking in other areas of life, career, business, everything, and they just are having a heck of a time. There's guys that are living in metro areas that have a lot of. I know there's a ton of women there, right? But their head's not in the right place, their mind's not in the right place, right? So now. Of course, I'm David Hamilton with Core Confidence, help successful guys that rock it in their career, business, other areas of life to get their 10 out of 10 love life, right? And I want to let you guys know, of course, if you want to see my Attraction on Command Masterclass, it's a must watch. You must watch it. Type in CLASS, CALASS, in the comments below, and I'll make sure you receive that, okay? Just make sure that you are, successful in your career, business, and all that, because it's really tailored to that kind of guy. Specific challenges, being a target when you have success, when you got some money in the pocket, when you got all that stuff going on, right? They know you're the package that way, and it can make you a target as a successful guy, which is my forte in helping guys with that, okay? So, yeah, let's let me check my notes here, make sure I got all this stuff squared away. I always used to think it was squared away. Squared away. That could have a funny connotation, but squared away, right? We got to get squared away. So we're talking about this, right? No women around. Where are they? They all seem to be taken. They all have boyfriends. Yeah, right. Right. All the things, right? There's some guys who just literally believe there are no women around. I helped a guy like this recently, dug him out of the hole of his own head with this. So I'm going to start off with that, because that's one of the most powerful things that stops guys up are excuses. Blaming it on something external rather than seeing that we're the common point of attraction in our love lives, our dating lives, our relationship with women, and all of our relationships with anything in our life. We are the common attraction point. We're the common denominator every time. It looks like it's out there, but it's in here. Okay, so what excuses are you making that are causing this? There's an exception with really small towns, which generally, if you're in a really small town, then you do have some extra challenges. Not saying it's not doable, but again, I'm probably going to tell you that there's not enough women around. Then you need to move somewhere there are, if this is important to you, right? But that's a very, very rare case, okay? That's for a guy. And I, talk to guys, there's women left and right at the health food store, at the Whole Foods, at the gym, wherever they're going in their lives already. And there's always some expansion that can happen. But it's just so common, those excuses. We get stuck in our head and we think, I don't know, they're all taken. And usually when the boyfriend excuse happens, what that means is you got the wrong vibe and they don't really like you and they're not attracted to you. If every single woman says, I have a boyfriend, thank you, no, I have a boyfriend, thank you, it's bullshit. They don't. Some do. Okay, some will, for sure. But there's a myth out there that, all women or all hot women have boyfriends. Guys, hot women can be some of the loneliest creatures on the planet. Okay? So, excuses. Are you engaging with, approaching women? Are you getting out there? Okay? Even doing that, right? I like to say that the word attraction, we talk about attraction around here a lot, right? Guess what word's inside of attraction, guys? Cut off the ATTR, and the word that's left is, that's right, action. Are you taking action in that direction? Now, of course, taking the right aligned action is important too. And I talk about being the king, not the hunter, in my Attraction on Command Masterclass, which you can, in general, you can like, share, and comment below share this out if you got value out of this and think somebody could be helped. Feel free to give it a like. Always helps, right? But leave a comment and type class if you haven't seen the Attraction on Command Masterclass. It's a must see for you to get the fundamentals down of what I'm talking about, okay? So I can't go through every fundamental, every workshop. I got to focus on certain points, right? So excuses, excuses, excuses. Root them out, get them out, take action, okay? Getting out there. So, of course, part of the aligned action thing is what? Getting in the right settings, okay? If you're going to places where it's just a bunch of dudes, where are the women? There's only 2 women here. It's like, come on, man. No, right? I don't want you to go there only for the women, but you got to put yourself in the vicinity, right? And not be a creeper, not be needy, not be awkward. I have another video on this page that you can find. And if you want that, type in, what should I say to type in? Not needy. Okay, type in not needy if you want the link to that. If you can't find it, I'll make sure you get that in the comments, okay? And, you got to get to the right places. So I'd love to hear from you too. Are you getting out in the right settings? Are you putting yourself in the right types of environments? Because if you're not, then you're not giving yourself even a fair shake by doing that. Now, of course, the guys that have the get the boyfriend excuse and all that, well, okay, right? At least they're getting out in the right, kind of scenarios, right? It's going to be anywhere, guys, anywhere, okay? We're social creatures. We're designed to be social. We got here because we're social. I was talking on with some clients the other night and talking about there's like those nature shows. If you go down the Netflix rabbit hole and you watch it, and there's like these mountain cats, and they live in total isolation for like their whole lives. Human beings, we don't do that. Even if you're totally isolated and don't leave your apartment much, there's always people around, and people are bringing you stuff, and they're delivering and all this. You can choose to isolate yourself, but how we got here is because we're very social creatures, right? So you have to be social, okay? So you must get out into the right settings, okay? And the next thing I want to dive into here is and this ties into that too, is relying too much on services to help you find women. No, I'm not talking about that service, you dirty bird. Okay, what I am talking about is online dating services, matchmaking services, even speed dating. Why? Limited pools of women, not so much online, but matchmaking, speed dating, singles. Okay, look, if a guy is super antisocial, okay, go ahead and go to singles events, but you're just not going to find the most quality women at a singles event. It's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. Okay. It's not the way it goes. So if you're relying too much on these services, help you find women, you're not working the fundamentals, blowing your excuses away, taking action, getting the right settings, right? And you're just relying on them to get you the fish instead of learning how to fish better, instead of upgrading your skills, upgrading your confidence, upgrading your mojo and vibe, right? It's a big, big issue, okay? And then it gets worse because you can get addicted to these services, right? And like keep thinking it's the next thing. And there's a book called Explosive Growth that somebody on my team had recommended, a new member of my team. And they said in Explosive Growth, they talked about a guy who was behind some of the first dating apps. And guess what? Their agenda in the dating apps, my friends, is not to help you find a relationship, it's to help you keep coming back to the dating app. Because then the dating app dies if they don't get people coming back to the dating app all the time. See what I'm saying? Makes sense? So it's real important that you get the skills to pay the bills. And look, if you want to come back to some of these, but here's the thing, when you know what you're doing, you have the confidence, the sexually magnetic vibe, using the secret weapon, bam, and become the king, not the hunter, not pedestalizing women, all this, but engaging with them, you won't need that stuff. You just won't need it. You'll be swimming in women. You'll be drowning in women, okay? And they'll be chasing you. But of course, you got to stop all the hitting on crap, right? And the over pursuing and chasing and it doesn't work anymore. And it really doesn't work with the most attractive women. Okay, which doesn't necessarily mean she's the most quality woman, right? We got to have that balance if you're looking for the relationship. If you're looking to have some fun, there's a little more flexibility. But you don't want to hang out with a woman who acts like a biatch, right, and has a bad personality. You want to have somebody you at least enjoy hanging out with a bit, even if it's casual or if it's a dating scenario. And absolutely, of course, if you want the right relationship. Okay. So again, by services, I realize I put services in quotes and it looks like services, which, hey, some guys might be using that as a crutch. I have empathy and compassion. I get it, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about matchmaking and speed dating online, these things that, man, there's just so much competition online. If you haven't noticed, every guy that comes to me and gets on the phone has really tried it. I just got off the phone a bit earlier. I was a little bit late for this. Sorry. I'm known to be late sometimes, fashionably, unfashionably late. It's like he was just getting into online and I'm sitting here going, he hasn't tried it too much. And here's another thing is, we could just call a service trying to rely on your friends to hang out, right? Friends and family to hang out, or to, introduce you to people, or say, oh, you should go see so-and-so, okay? Maybe you guys should get in touch on Facebook or whatever. It's a real limited pool. And most guys that don't know what they're doing are going to get thrown in the friend zone anyway, like a gentleman I just talked to, who, good luck to him. Whichever way he goes, and hopefully takes on what I am teaching and preaching here, because it really works. I've got, the testimonials, the case studies to prove it, the results, and so you can't rely on the stream where the fish are. I mean, you got to find the fish where the stream are, but so many guys, when they don't know what they're doing, they can be in a room full of attractive women and just getting shot down left and right, and nothing's happening. And it just goes on and on and on for years, right? For years. There are guys that, I really think decisiveness is a key to moving forward and fixing this, deciding to take action, deciding to move forward, right? Deciding to learn more about this, get more into the stuff here on core confidence, right? All that adds up and aggregates. And everybody has their own unique challenges with confidence. With some guys plain don't know how to flirt. They don't even know how to flirt or tease or joke around or just have some fun. And women love fun, right? I'm not saying you have to be some clown, but if you don't know how to have fun, it's not good. It's really not good. And they're going to come after you for things like your money and stuff instead when you're successful. And then you're really going to be in a world of hurt later down the road, which many guys, that come to me know, and they want a help and a fix for, let alone saving the money that might be spent on women, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on women over the years, right? Even within a year, okay? Breast implants, cars, all kinds of stuff I hear, right? Cars given and bought, apartments rented, bought sometimes, right? Crazy. So, and with women that really don't have respect for the guys, right? So, relying too much on service, you got to rely on you, get out there, take action, drop excuses. And then here's one that is not as common that I talk about, but I realized today, is looking for the relationship too far up front. So where are the quality women? Well, immediately, going, okay, she's got to be fit for a relationship, which gives you the wrong vibe and makes you way too serious and not fun. Then you don't even really get to know who she is, and it's all this stuff and play needy nice and it just goes on and on and on. So a lot of guys, do it. And sometimes guys that used to be players, right, and they want to settle down, they turn to this totally different guy. And I'm not saying you got to be a player. I don't, manipulate player, bad boy, not at all. But they had at least some kind of vibe before, and they throw it all away because they're like, they're getting way more romantic than the girl is, and she just wants to chill and hang out and have a good time, right? And see where it goes. And so you got to stop with that thought. You got to stop with that thing of looking at every woman as, oh, relationship, I don't know, this and that. And that's probably when you start getting the boyfriend excuse a lot too. They're like, this guy is so damn serious, right? His vibe is off. It ain't on, right? It ain't on, as we say in Colorado. It ain't. So instead of it's not. So these are all really important things, okay? Really important things. And let me tell you something. Let me show you something. Let me tell you something, okay? Women are going to reject based on primarily your vibe very quickly. Often in the first minute or two, they're going to know, okay? This is why I talk about vibe so much and how important it is, and getting your mind right around this stuff, and removing that pedestal, leveling the playing field. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe you actually have to bring value to, but you got to believe in yourself. And so many guys have self-esteem issues and shame issues that we have as men that we don't even realize, okay? That plays into it. Society has certainly conditioned us that way, but we bought into it. So right back to excuses. The only one that really cares or gives a crap about your life is you, and not anybody else, and not society for certain. So if you're dropping excuses still, but David, what about this and what about that? Nah, it's so hard. Yeah, of course it's hard. It's hard when you're making a lot of excuses and getting caught in them too, right? Just self-reinforcing, self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's exactly what this whole thing is, right? Where are the quality women? There seem to be none available. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy. There's plenty around, okay? There's plenty around where you are. Because most everybody here is from a big city, a suburb, or a sizable small city where there's, at least 100,000, 60, 70,000 minimum, right? Into hundreds of thousands, millions, right? Or in a suburb that's close to a city or whatever, right? Some guys that reach out and ends up being a fit to work together might have a place in the bigger town, the bigger city, and then a small country place or a place in the lake, and they go back and forth. So they know, but there's a scene in both places, really. And it's still about the vibe. It's still about certainly knowing where to go, right? And so that's what we talked about, right? We covered all this stuff. We covered, not having the excuses, right? Getting out to the right settings, right? You got to get in those right environments, right? They're all around you. Open your eyes, look, drop the excuses in order to see. Relying too much on online dating, matchmaking, speed dating, even singles groups, okay? Singles groups, they just have the smell of desperation. You got to know that. Like, and if a guy's really, 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 and we're working together and really starting out, I'm probably not going to say anything because he just needs to get out of the house because he's socially isolated. But honestly, it's pretty rare these days that I take on a really socially isolated guy, meaning a guy that doesn't have social skills. It's like, that person probably has a lot of social anxiety and needs a therapist. There's rare exceptions to that. If a guy's a real action taker, butt kicker, right? I have helped guys like that. But in general, right, you got to have some kind of basic social acumen going on, right? Otherwise, it's rebuilding from the complete ground up, where somebody has no confidence in talking to anybody. I'm sorry if you're watching this and that's you. It's tough. And you should probably go to a therapist first if you just can't really, if you don't have even friends to hang out with or whatever that is, right, at all. Okay. So relying too much on the services, and then of course looking for a relationship up front in your head, qualifying. Is she going to be the one? Is she going to be this? Is she going to be that? That'll come on your vibe. You get the boyfriend excuse all day long. It's not fun. It's needy. It's desperate, right? That kind of stuff. Just think about when a woman does that. Okay, it's just not. It's not a good thing. You're not attracted to it, right? I know I'm not. So that's we rocked out today in how to date more quality women. It all starts with you. Common denominator in our relationships, attraction point. And listen, if you want help with this, you want to map out a plan, you want to dive into this, we're going to sort through, figure out all your excuses, how to demolish them, destroy them, overcome your challenges, map out your vision, appropriate steps, map out a plan. Then just type call in the comments below, and we'll have a chat about setting up a call, see where you're at. Got some questions for you. Want to make sure that, I'm the right person to help you, that my stuff is the right thing, which is why I really want you to see the masterclass. You can type class below, you can type call, you can type both, right? And, and just make sure that you're really committed to changing this, that you're currently successful in your career or business. That's going well. Other areas of life too, that you're not completely bedridden or struggling with, health. Health comes first, right? You want to have your career stuff in order, all that. You don't want to be, sorry, if you're taking the bus to work and living at home with mom and dad and struggling to make ends meet, you're not ready for a call. Okay. You're just not. You got other things you got to deal with first. You got more baseline stuff. But if you are currently successful career, business, and you're a high achiever, got to say that. Got to be a high achiever, because you want to have the highest level of mojo, vibe, confidence to attract your ideal 9 or 10 women or woman, depending if you want to go on the casual dating path for a while or find the right relationship. Every guy I talk to ultimately wants the right relationship. Some want to have fun, of course, if they, got out of divorce or whatever, the roommate situation. And then their guys are like, nope, I'm ready sooner than later. But of course, we got to use a many to one strategy where you don't look for the relationship up front. Still many to one. Okay. Listen, guys, always a pleasure. David Hamilton here with Core of Confidence. And love serving you guys, helping you guys out. And until next time, we will see you. Peace. Bye-bye.